Hello everybody, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Christian's Weather and Forecasting. Right now we're going to be taking a look again at the tropics, as well as some of these heat values, and even some severe weather that'll be moving in within the next couple days. So sit back, relax, and we'll go and dive straight into this. And so here we are right here at the National Weather Forecast. Right here we have a slight risk stretching through some portions of Indiana, Illinois, and a marginal risk stretching from all the way out here to Colorado, even over here into the Virginias and even portions of Delaware. States like Missouri, even some portions of Tennessee and North Carolina, as well as Kentucky and Ohio, West Virginia, all those areas are involved in this threat. The tornado threat, it's most likely non-existent. We have this little portion up here back into northeastern Kentucky and into Ohio. I don't see this as being a tornado threat because it's been 0% all day, and only this little baby portion right here is a 2%. Maybe we'll see something tornado warned, but I do not think it'll be much of a threat. The wind threat for today is a 15% where we see that slight risk, and then that hail threat is just 5% all over. Tomorrow we also have this marginal risk stretching through southern portions of Kentucky, portions of Tennessee, Arkansas, and into some of the northern parts of the southern states. Tornado threat non-existent. Wind threat is only going to be that 5%, which is why we're not seeing a slight risk upgrade, as well as this hail threat non-existent. So this is kind of what we were looking at today, just kind of a different warned zone, but there's not really much of a severe weather threat just yet, although we are seeing some of it start to pop back up. Now, a little bit of what we're seeing, normally this area right here shouldn't be getting any actual storms. I mean, that high pressure ridge was sitting there, that jet stream is kind of moving over that. So what's going on with that right now? This was the kind of system we were looking at right now. If you look on screen, we have the high pressure ridge sitting right in through the central plains. That jet stream is moving over that into even a little bit of Canada. This isn't exact. It would be more like this if we were actually being exact about it. But we're not. I'm just kind of made an estimate. But it's going over this high pressure ridge and into the New York, Pennsylvania area before moving off. So that the New York, Pennsylvania area is where we've started to see a little more of that weather pop up. Not necessarily severe, but it's still there. And then those storms that don't get knocked off into the ocean have been wrapped back around and back straight into the jet stream again. But what we have started to see within the last couple of days is that this high pressure ridge is still there, and it's still going to be causing high temperatures. But instead of it reaching all the way out through here, it's kind of broke a little bit and kind of just moving through this area. And that jet stream is able to kind of move through where that high pressure ridge was and get to some more of this eastern part of the coast, not just up here. The original would have been something like this, moving through New York and all that, and it would have swung everything back around. But where that high pressure ridge kind of cut and it's not as big anymore, that jet stream is going to be able to get some time to move through and off to the eastern coast. And with that jet stream moving in, this is why we're seeing some of these storms kind of pop up in this area, because that jet stream has had a chance to move down and off to the eastern coast. Which even right now, right this minute, we can still see some of that kind of that jet stream, how that's working. We have storms moving into the Kentucky area and off to the eastern coast, where West Virginia is right now. So, I mean, this is kind of a better thing for the area where we've not been seeing as much rain, as much storms in general. This will help it a lot, possibly. Now, I want to move up here towards Michigan and northern Ohio. All those little red blobs that you're seeing, those areas like right over here, through here, and even into over in this area towards Michigan, those are all tornado reports. We're not going to go through all of them, but we've had tornado reports up here near Greenville. Even some tornadoes down here in the town of Cleveland was rated EF1 by the National Weather Service, and even some just south of Toledo. So yesterday's event was more significant than we actually initially thought. It produced a good amount of tornadoes too as well. Like right here is the one that actually hit Cleveland, the central eastern part of Cleveland. It was an EF1 tornado that touched down and tracked along mostly this kind of northeast coast. As you can see, that secondary tornado report right now, it's still that EF1 tornado. We have this one over here towards southeastern Michigan, a weak tornado not yet to be rated, as well as another report even over here towards Lansing that was also rated EF1. We also, at this tornado right here, touched down near Grand Rapids, almost inside the town. You can see it right there, and Grand Rapids is right here. That path length, width, and estimated wind speeds is right there as well. If you want to pause and read these, feel free to go ahead and do so. We even had a little weak tornado report right here in Florida. I'm not going to dive into that because that's not really part of the event we were talking about. But if you have Radar Omega or you want to take a look at it to pause and read it, here it is right here. And you may be wondering, what are all these blobs that are out here in the ocean? That is the tropical storm that we saw from the last video, the tropical storm development area. So let's go ahead and dive into that. We have a ton of areas to look at. We have a good chance over here in the Pacific Ocean, kind of the southern Pacific Ocean, 80 to 90% chance of seeing tropical development. There, over here towards the one near Mexico City, not as much of a chance. It's 20 to 40% for this one, the orange one. So we could more or less see one of these pop up. Mostly doubtable right now, but this can always grow just like this one did. This one started off as a yellow and grew and grew. If we move over here towards Florida, Florida is the one we're going to be monitoring quite closely. This one possibly towards a track towards Hawaii, but this one is going to be more to itself. This one has an 80% chance within 7 days and a 40% chance within 2 days. This could spawn up and actually lead into land some portions of the eastern coast. So we will be monitoring that as that develops as well. Moving into the North Atlantic Ocean, we do have active Hurricane Franklin. From my last video, I kind of estimated him going over this way a little bit, just kind of the way he was turning right here. But he proved me wrong, and he's turning away from the United States, even turning away from Canada. So that's always good to see. We have some more yellow places, which is low for tropical development that we're not going to be monitoring as closely, but still has the possibility as well as a medium chance with 20 to 50%. Most of the medium percents do get upgraded to the high percent that we have been seeing, so this tropical development system has kind of skyrocketed since we've last talked about it even more. Before we do dive into that, we do have a mesoscale discussion out, kind of the portion of the Tennessee-Ohio Valley, not Tennessee, but Kentucky. Right here's that picture, so I just wanted to point that out if anybody's interested in that as well. And here we are on the National Weather Service website actually looking at the heat in itself. All these pinks that we have right here is the heat warnings. All these other ones that are orange is heat advisories. We even have these over here into the Southern California, Arizona, even a little portion of New Mexico, where we're seeing a lot of this heat, some temperatures even reaching 110 to 115 degrees with these areas. So if you're outside, you're working, I don't recommend you work in this, but I know some people have to. If you are in this area and you're experiencing these hot temperatures like I am, make sure you're hydrated and you're ready and you aren't over-exaggerating yourself and that you're not over-exhausting yourself. And just get the proper care that you need to take care of yourself. Don't overwork yourself like most people will do because they think they can. With that said, that's all I have for you guys today. I will continue to monitor the tropical development that we will be watching, as well as the severity for these storms to pop back up, where that high pressure ridge is kind of collapsing on itself and that jet stream is able to go right down over it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.